Speaker Nancy Pelosi in hot water for breaking one of her own rules, accused of skating around the new metal detectors outside the House chamber.
The rule imposes a fine on those who break it, and a group of Republican lawmakers say Pelosi should have to pay it, too. One of those lawmakers is Congressman Rodney Davis. He joins us live with more. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Hey, good morning, Todd and Jillian. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. I'm going to read this quote from the GOP letter to the acting sergeant at arms. This is Friday, and it reads, quote, yesterday at approximately 9:59 a.m., multiple members observed the Speaker of the House entering the House chamber without completing security screening. What was observed was a clear violation of House Resolution 73, and you are required by House rules to impose this fine. Please inform us once this fine has been assessed. I'm just going to let you go ahead and take it away. What's your reaction?
Well, it's disappointing, but not surprising that Nancy Pelosi would implement rules that she has no intention of following. Just like during the beginning of the pandemic, she told everyone else, don't go get a haircut. She decided to go in and get one in San Francisco. After January 6th, the Speaker decided to install metal detectors in the Capitol when there's been no internal threat whatsoever within the Capitol. It's outside the Capitol building along the perimeter where every threat is. But then she decided to double down on that and impose a $5,000 fine for any member of Congress who goes beyond those metal detectors without a security screening. Well, one of my Republican colleagues was fined $5,000 for doing exactly what I personally witnessed Speaker Pelosi doing by walking directly into what we call the Speaker's lobby and onto the House floor just the other morning.
Now, Speaker Pelosi's office has not yet responded to Fox News' request for comment. But, Congressman, what excuse are you expecting as to why this rule does not apply to her?
Well, I would have expected an excuse by now if she had an excuse. I think she's just going to try and get the people that are under her jurisdiction, like the Sergeant at Arms, who was appointed directly by the Speaker and was appointed directly by the Speaker immediately after his predecessor was fired on January 7th. So if they want to stall this, they can stall it all they want. But we expect rules, if they are going to be implemented fairly. And when they're not, it's the good men and women of the Capitol Police that are actually affected by this disproportionate implementation of the rules.
Congressman, we want to get your opinion on this because just about 15 minutes ago, we had a retired U.S. Army captain on the show, and he said he was turned away from getting the vaccine from the VA because of his income. Under federal law, how much money a vet makes annually is one of those factors in determining whether they're eligible for its cost-free services. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I believe that President Biden, and I would respectfully request that he issue an executive order which would, on an emergent basis, modify those regulations to allow all veterans receiving an honorable discharge to receive the COVID vaccination.
Now, he's calling on President Biden to do something about this. A public affairs officer for the West Palm Beach VA Medical Center said the rule is set by Congress. Should Congress take this up? Should the president do something about this? What is your reaction?
Well, clearly, I think it's something that needs to be addressed by the VA. I'm not surprised that the problems exist within that federal agency, and I would hope that newly enshrined VA Secretary McDonough can address this situation. And it's right now less about, in my opinion, individual cases, because we need to look ahead when we know that the increase in exponential availability of vaccines is going to be across this great country and even in the state of Florida. And what I've seen out of the Biden administration and what I've seen on Capitol Hill from people like Nancy Pelosi is they don't plan ahead.